Strong fathers don't need support. Survey says that's a lie. Let's talk about it.
Ooh, man. Oh, man. All right, guys. How y'all doing? This is Mecals, and this is Mecals Milestones, and this is my brother Marcus.
What up? What's going on?
Yes. Today's topic is going to be fathers need strong support groups, and we're going to get on this topic. But first, I have a question. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but did you know that the only time a father gets free food, clothing, and shelter is when he's incarcerated? I don't know if too many people know that. The resources are so slim for fathers and men in general, but fathers, this is our topic. So I just wanted to throw that out there. I didn't know if anybody knew that. Also, you know, when we speak about especially Black fathers, and I hate to separate Black fathers and you know, other races, but we don't get compensated the same as they do.
Oh, absolutely not.
And it doesn't matter. I mean, this dude could have a high school diploma and I can have an associate's, and depending on who you know, you might get that job before me. So it's a lot of different things and obstacles in front of us that keep us from being able to do what we do as fathers.
Absolutely. I agree with you wholeheartedly that there's a lot of things that we battle as fathers that it feels like it's always an uphill battle.
True.
And a lot of times when you go to research and look at things, if you just type in fathers and problems and things, a lot of times I see more negative stuff for the fathers than positive things. It's really, sometimes it can be hard to find some positive things, but I think that's what today we're talking about is, listen, actually, there are strong support systems out here for us.
Right.
And so, because a lot of times, like growing up, man, we were kind of was told to believe like, hey, as a man alone, like you should handle things yourself.
Yeah.
As a man alone, you don't show weakness. As a man alone, you figure it out. And I believe that, you know, those things just as men, but then when you become a father, that's even elevated even higher than that.
Yes, it is.
And that's, you know, for us, we have to start looking at it like, hey, what do you do as a father when you have all that weight on you? Who's supporting you as a father?
Right. Who do you talk to? Yeah.
Who do you talk to?
Yes.
Right. And so I really feel like fathers need strong support groups, period. Like that's a period after that. I feel like it's not just helpful, but I feel like it's that necessary piece for a father.
Yeah. Yeah. Because in today's society, believe it or not, they don't even consider us as a parent. It's so crazy because my son's school is 5 minutes away from here and 5 minutes from my job. And every time something happens, they call his mother first and she contacts me. And she's 3 hours away.
Yes, sir.
And I just find it so crazy. And I've been to the school a couple times, you know, y'all know me. But it's just so crazy that we're not even considered parents. If we're not just providing and protecting as a Black father, you mean nothing to the system, nothing at all. And so back to the topic of getting support groups. My brother went to a assembly yesterday, and he told me about it. And God, I wish I could have made it. But those support groups that he was telling me about got me anxious.
Yeah. I think that, like you said, when you run into those situations, right, where it just seems like there's a roadblock. Like to me, I feel like the system is the system, no matter what.
Yeah.
Right, it is, and so that's why we reach out to these different avenues that it may feel like it's hard to find, but once you find them, you realize, hey, this support actually is supported by this and supported by this. And by the time you turn around, you've got a whole circle of support. And that's what we're talking about today. Fathers, if you don't have that circle of support, you need to get it. But I'll tell you how you start out. You got to start out with simply saying, you have to admit that that times get tough and you need the support.
Yes,
if
right.
you don't admit it,
You got to.
You ain't gonna get. You won't get
You're
the
not gonna
support.
get the help that you need.
We're not gonna look at you and be like, you know what? That brother look like he's struggling. That brother look like he all right.
Yeah.
That brother like he's struggling. We're not gonna do that.
Yeah, you got to be open to discussion. When these resources are and opportunities come to you, you have to be willing to say yes. And you can't be the tough guy in this situation.
No, by far. Because when you get around other fathers, when you get in these support groups, these other fathers, you're starting to be like, okay, you know what? You hear something that you went through, and you're like, I'm not alone in this.
Yep.
Right? There's something that they applied to whatever the situation was. They applied something that worked, because you applied something that may not have worked.
Right.
They went through the same thing, applied something different, and it worked. So now you actually have some actual proof. Let me try that for my situation.
Yes.
Like, it helps entirely as far as all those things go. But again, you have to speak up and ask for that help. And like, so whether it's, and I don't care, like old school barbershop talk, cool.
Yep.
That was kind of like our support group, right? So I'm not saying don't go to that. That's good stuff. Church is another location where you have men's ministry and things like that. Bring these topics up in your men's ministry for the fathers that's out there, whether they're new fathers, old fathers, don't matter, right?
That's right.
And when you're talking about other things, other situations, like there's just other group chats, but like what we do right here.
Right here, yes. What we're trying to do.
Mecals Milestones.
Yes, we're trying to create that environment.
Yes.
And so we, because you do think that you're alone, and believe it or not, you're not. By far, you are not alone. I've been there. I've been at the food stamp office with all of my kids with me, and that lady told me she was going to give me $56. And then I saw a family over here, and it was a husband, wife, and kids, and they walked out of there with $900. Now, and so of course the system's not fair, but closed mouths don't get fed. So again, you gotta tap into these resources, and it's not as many now. One thing about this show, I will say, the thing that we said we would not do is discredit women. But unfortunately, we do not have the same resources as they do.
Yeah.
But the ones that we do have, we need to take advantage of them.
Yeah, especially in Georgia. And that's where this platform, we're coming to you from Georgia. So I don't know all the different situations in other states where we can talk to you about what goes on in Georgia. And I've heard from other sources that it's kind of like this kind of everywhere you go, or many places where you go. So, and like for us, like some of the people that's in our circle, right? There's like Fathers Matter ATL, excellent group. There's Father Movement Inc. There's Dad Cipher, Fathers Walk. Again, this is what I mean. You get surrounded by this circle of help. And I promise you, that's how you build a strong foundation.
Yes.
You're going to find some things that relates to you. You're going to find some things that might not relate to you. But when you start talking to other fathers, and you've already gotten this information, and it might be something that you didn't need, but you can hold it and give it to somebody else. One of the biggest things about Mecals Milestones that I love is that we're not stingy about anything. If we got some information, we're going to share it with you. And that's exactly what we do.
Yes.
And so that's what this is about. We want to make sure that we're telling you, as men, as fathers, we tried to do it on our own because that's the way we were taught growing up. But that's not how it goes. That's not what works.
No.
You got to get you a system, a circle around you.
Got to get a support group.
If you're a father listening right now, I'm asking you, reach out to another father, another dad. Check on them, see how they're doing.
Yes.
Invite them in, start a conversation, all those different things. You got to build you a circle.
Yes, you do. And I have two more, Fathers Uplift and Dad Pad. Those are two other resources that you can also use. You can talk to them. Listen, we all work extremely long hours and we get burned out. I get it. Trust me, we're no different. You have to commit to talking to somebody and tapping into these resources because they're here. We just got to figure it out. This is Mecals from Mecals Milestones. And as usual, let's be great.
Hey, let's be great together, y'all.
Peace.
Peace. Click, share, subscribe. Do it all. Let's go.
All of it.